Van Cleef, born Clarence Leroy Van Cleef Jr. on January 9, 1925, in Somerville, New Jersey, grew up during the hardships of the Great Depression. His early years were marked by challenges that demanded resilience, discipline, and self-reliance. From childhood, Van Cleef displayed a quiet intensity and determination, traits that would shape both his personal and professional life. The economic and social pressures of the era instilled in him a practical understanding of perseverance, while his keen observation of human behavior would later inform the depth and authenticity of his performances on screen. These formative experiences created a foundation for the moral complexity he would bring to his characters. Military service and early ambitions. During World War II, Van Cleef served in the United States Navy, an experience that reinforced his respect for discipline, duty, and endurance. Military life exposed him to rigorous routines and the realities of human fragility, leaving a lasting impact on his character. After the war, he pursued acting, studying theater with dedication and seriousness, aware that success in Hollywood was never guaranteed. This period of preparation honed his craft, cultivating a mastery of subtlety in performance. Van Cleef's early ambition combined with his experiences of structure and hardship, shaping a persona that was calm, measured, and intensely focused, a quality that would later define the memorable characters he portrayed in both American and European cinema. Breakthrough in Hollywood. Van Cleef made his film debut in the 1952 classic High Noon, where his understated performance captured attention despite limited screen time. Hollywood soon recognized his striking features and commanding presence, though initially only for secondary roles. Often cast as henchmen, outlaws, or minor villains, Van Cleef was typecast because of his unconventional looks. Throughout the 1950s, he appeared in numerous television series including The Lone Ranger, Gunsmoke, and Half Gun. Will Travel, consistently demonstrating an ability to convey menace, intelligence, and subtle emotion without relying on dialogue. These early roles, though rarely leading, established his reputation as a reliable and compelling character actor in the competitive Hollywood landscape. Challenges and resilience. In 1958, a serious car accident temporarily halted Van Cleef's career momentum. At a time when Hollywood recognition seemed just within reach, this setback threatened to derail his progress entirely. Yet Van Cleef's resilience, cultivated from his early years and military service, allowed him to recover and continue pursuing acting with renewed determination. This period of struggle taught him patience and adaptability, preparing him for a later career resurgence overseas. Rather than letting misfortune define him, Van Cleef used it as an opportunity to refine his craft and explore new creative avenues, demonstrating a fortitude that would become a hallmark of both his life and professional trajectory. Italian westerns and stardom. As opportunities in American cinema waned, Van Cleef found new life in Italy, where filmmakers were transforming the Western genre with moral ambiguity and darker storytelling. His collaboration with director Sergio Leone proved transformative. Cast as Colonel Douglas Mortimer in For a Few Dollars More, 1965, Van Cleef emerged as a leading man, delivering a performance that combined calm precision with emotional depth. Mortimer's character, driven by personal loss and moral principle, showcased Van Cleef's ability to portray complexity beyond traditional hero or villain archetypes. The international acclaim he received solidified his status as a star and marked a turning point, elevating him from typecast secondary roles to one of the most memorable faces of the spaghetti western movement. Defining roles and lasting impact. Van Cleef's career continued to flourish with iconic roles in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, 1966, Day of Anger, 1967, and The Big Gun Down, 1966. In these films, he often portrayed men operating in shades of grey, characters shaped by experience, survival, and moral ambiguity, rather than simple notions of right and wrong. Audiences were drawn to the authenticity he brought to these roles, where restraint and subtlety conveyed strength, intelligence, and humanity. By eschewing melodrama, Van Cleef elevated the genre, creating characters whose internal lives were as compelling as the external action. His performances left a lasting impression, influencing both contemporaries and future generations of actors in Western and action cinema, professionalism and character. Beyond his on-screen presence, Van Cleef was known for his professionalism, integrity, and dedication to craft. Colleagues frequently described him as disciplined, courteous, and deeply serious about acting. He approached every role, whether lead or supporting, with the same meticulous attention to detail. Even at the height of his fame, he maintained humility and a strong work ethic, never forgetting the years of struggle that preceded his success. Van Cleef's quiet demeanor off-screen mirrored the composed, thoughtful characters he played, reinforcing his reputation as a consummate professional whose respect for the art of cinema matched his commitment to audience engagement. Later career and American returns. In the 1980s, Van Cleef returned to American productions, taking on roles suited to his experience and commanding presence. In Escape from New York, 1981, he portrayed the authoritative and morally complex police commissioner Bob Hawke, a performance that elevated the material and lent gravitas to the film. Even as physical challenges grew with age, Van Cleef continued to work steadily, choosing roles that matched his refined screen persona. His later career reflected a seamless integration of experience and craft, showing audiences that compelling storytelling required more than youth or physical prowess. It demanded intelligence, nuance, and a deep understanding of human character, personal life and family. Van Cleef's personal life mirrored the complexity of his screen characters. He married Patty Ruth Kay in 1943 during World War II, balancing family responsibilities with military service and early career struggles. Together, they had 3 children, navigating the financial and emotional challenges of a growing family amid an unpredictable acting career. The marriage ended in 1958, coinciding with a pivotal period in Van Cleef's professional life. In 1960, he married Joan Marjorie Dra, who supported him during years of rebuilding his career overseas. Despite personal challenges, Van Cleef maintained a devotion to family and cultivated stability alongside the intensity of his professional life. Final years and legacy. Lee Van Cleef continued acting into his later years, demonstrating resilience and commitment despite declining health. On December 16, 1989, he passed away from a heart attack at his home in Oxnard, California, with throat cancer listed as a secondary cause. Even in his final years, Van Cleef's dedication to performance never waned, leaving behind a legacy defined by perseverance, artistry, and authenticity. He was laid to rest at Forest Lawn Memorial Park Cemetery in the Hollywood Hills, a fitting resting place for a figure whose life was inseparable from cinematic history. His epitaph, Best of the Bad, encapsulates his enduring reputation as a masterful interpreter of morally complex characters. Conclusion. Lee Van Cleef's life was a testament to resilience, artistry, and the quiet power of persistence. From humble beginnings in New Jersey to international stardom in Italian westerns, he cultivated a career defined by discipline, intelligence, and depth. Van Cleef elevated every role he played, whether hero, villain, or anti-hero, leaving audiences with characters that felt real and morally intricate. His professionalism, humility, and unwavering dedication to craft made him not just a memorable actor but an inspiration for generations of performers. Even after his passing, Van Cleef's presence endures in cinema, a reminder of the enduring impact of integrity, talent, and quiet strength on both screen and life.